Hello again everyone and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. We are back here in Haven and we're going to go and have a natter to Sera now.
How much did you need?
Oh, we got another song. That's always good. Empress of Fire, yeah. Okay, yeah, Sera. We haven't spoken to Sera yet and she's recently joined up, so let's have a word with her. Try and learn a bit more about this oddball. Because she's definitely an oddball.
Huh? Oh no, it's fine, yeah? It's just, I thought it'd be bigger. Hear that? I meant the stronghold, but it sounded like... Well, it's funny, right? Anyway.
Are you implying private parts? Because that's, yeah.
Need things back to normal for coins to be flowing again. Another reason the Templars and Mages need to be sat down.
There's more going on, yeah.
It's not just a war between those two.
Well, sure, the sky has a hole in it, but I can't put an arrow in that.
You could try.
Doesn't come down. That's weird.
Oh, right.
And that's the point, right? It's weird and right there, but they still want to punch each other. They're too busy to look up where the real questions are.
Yeah, you've got a point.
That's why we're here. To help guide everyone back from the brink.
The religious ones tell you that. That's important, right? But don't make it all about that. Seems like believing too hard is what got everyone here. And here is stupid and smells of horse. Really? What everyone needs is to get everything back to normal and proper and profitable. Sound good to you, all chosen Lord Herald?
Your saying sounds very good. Right, let's not romance her because she's weird as all fuck. We'll succeed. We have to, yeah.
I'm committed to putting an end to this crisis, whatever it takes.
It's why I'm here, yeah?
She slightly approves. Good. Good to know.
Whatever it is.
Oh, Cullen's right, reporting. Good stuff.
Themselves. Stupid everyone.
He got up really fast there, didn't he? He was like, nope, I'm leaving. Right. Red Jenny says drop and grab operation available. Another one from her? Wow. What's this? A Tale of the Frostbacks. Okay. Even mountains had a heart once. When the world was young, Korth, the mountain father, kept his throne at the peak of Belenas, the mountain in the center of the world, from which he could see all the corners of the earth and sky. And he saw strong men become weak, brave men grow cowardly, and wise men turn foolish for love. Korth devised a plan that he might never be betrayed by his own heart by taking it out and hiding it where no soul would ever dare search for it. He sealed it inside a golden cask buried in the earth and raised around it the fiercest mountains the world had ever seen, the Frostbacks, to guard it. But without his heart, the mountain father grew cruel. His chest was filled with bitter mountain winds that shrieked and howled like lost souls. Food lost its flavour, music had no sweetness, and he lost all joy in deeds of valour. He sent avalanches and earthquakes to torment the tribes of men. Gods and men rose against him, calling him a tyrant, but with no heart. Korth could not be slain. Soon there were no heroes left, either among men or gods, who would dare challenge Korth. The Lady of the Sky sent the best of her children, the swiftest, the cleverest, and strongest flyers, to scour the mountains for the missing heart. And for a year and a day they searched, but Sparrow and Raven, Vulture and Eagle, Swift and Albatross returned to her with nothing. Then the Ptarmigan spoke up and offered to find the God Chief's heart. The other birds laughed, for the Ptarmigan is a tiny bird, too humble to soar, which spends half its time hopping along the ground. The lady would not give the little creature her blessing, for the mountains were too fierce even for an eagle, but the Ptarmigan set out anyway. The little bird travelled deep into the Frostbacks. When she could not fly, she crawled. She hugged the ground and weathered the worst mountain winds, and so made her lonely way to the valley where the heart beat. With all the gods' terrible deeds, the heart was far too heavy for the tiny bird to carry, so she rolled it little by little out the valley and down a cliff, and when the golden cask struck the earth, it shattered. The heart was full almost to bursting, and the pain of it roused the mountain god to come see what had happened. When Korth neared his heart, it leapt back into his chest, and he was whole again. Then Hakkon Winter's Breath bound Korth's chest with 3 bands of iron and 3 bands of ice, so he could never again escape, and all the remaining gods named the Ptarmigan honoured above even the loftiest eagles. That's quite a nice tale, actually. I like that. Did we get a codex about the Maker there as well, by the way? I believe we did. If we can find it. No. Not places, tales. Maker. Right. It's just another song, I think. Right, Sera, do we have a normal conversation with you?
Well, that's
certainly can.
All over. So many robes, I bet all of Ferelden lost their curtains. I'll just be the other side of Haven, just in case.
They're here to help us, yeah.
These mages are here to aid the Inquisition. Don't worry.
Sure, don't worry. Magic up there, magic down here. What's to worry about? I mean, yay, freedom. Great for them. Over there, away from me.
Ugh. I could kick her out right now. That is, that's something, isn't it?
What do you think about the people who have gathered?
Which, the ones who do things or the ones who give orders?
Also, can I ask her opinion, everybody? Right, Dorian.
What about Dorian?
He's fun. Could lose a bit more to Vinta.
Vivienne?
What's your opinion of
Even though I've
Vivienne?
never even spoken to Vivienne yet.
But she knows. She better.
Okay, Blackwall?
Any thoughts about Warden Blackwall?
He's too good, right? Like to see him out of that uniform. Not like that.
Steady on there. Solus?
What about Solus?
Solus. His head's crammed up 1,000 years ago.
Fair enough. Varric?
Anything to say about
I bet she likes Varric.
Varric? Too clever.
Oh no,
Always
apparently
saying
not.
something, but never saying it straight.
Cassandra?
Thoughts about Cassandra?
Not as buttoned up as she plays, right? Tough, though. I'd stand behind her in front of anything.
Yeah, that's about right.
What do you think about our spy master, ambassador, and commander?
Liliana is pretty in places. Swear I've seen her, too. Or heard she used to play. But that'd be mad.
No, you're right there.
Now, Josephine, she's as good at humbling her kind as I am. Just with less mess. Knows her business, if you have to have it. And Cullen, I suppose if you want a jackboot, you get a big one so you can grow into it. Nice hair, though.
Okay, thank you for that, Sarah.
We'll talk later.
Good, right? I'll be here.
And speak to her about other stuff, though, I'm sure.
Chasing the Lord Seeker, I hear. Anyone who thinks they need Lord in front of the name, that's bad. Bet he's got a portrait taller than he is. That's your first clue to a total arse. Fact.
Yes, the Lord Seeker is a bit of a prick, I won't lie. Thoughts of the Inquisition?
Is the Inquisition what you thought it would be?
Well, you're dragging people together, suppose that's something. You're gonna need more trebuchets if you're going after the sky. Or, you know, ladders.
That is actually my main plan. I was going to get a bunch of ladders, just like duct tape them together, and like just hold like a support next to the ladders, and just make a massive ladder up to the sky, and just climb through the hole. It's an easy solution. If we all file through there, gain a foothold, we're fine. Easy. It's a flawless plan. Tell me about your background. Yeah, I'm interested in her.
What about me?
Oh, she sounded a bit like iffy there. She's clearly not a fan of talking about herself. Who trained you?
Your
Yeah.
skill. Who taught you how to use a bow?
No one.
That seems unlikely.
What? I picked it up here and there. Mostly it just makes sense. It's not like that for you.
Not typically.
Usually it takes considerable discipline. Hence my question.
Hence. Look, I work at it.
Hence.
Practice a little. Not like Cullen and his pets. I mean, you miss, then you don't. Is it that hard to see when it's wrong?
Is it an elf thing?
Most I know couldn't find an arrow sitting on it. Right. Maybe I just make it look easy in shite company. Fact still is, no teacher. Where would I find one in alleyways anyway?
Well, if you are self-taught, then fair play to you. Where are you from?
How about the basics? Where are you from?
Ferelden?
I got that from the accent. Where in Ferelden?
All over? Okay, fine. Denerim for a bit. South, north, wherever I want.
No ties worth
There
mentioning?
are no connections you want to mention at all?
Nope. It's complicated. I don't like complicated. Let's leave it at that. Maybe.
She's very weird. You're different for an elf.
You're not like most of the elves I've met.
Thanks, right? Or was that an insult? Suppose I could go barefoot and whine. Like that Solus, right? Never be as good as we were. Well, who's we? I'm just fine.
There's no value in tradition.
There's a lot of tradition there. Should it just be thrown away?
Your great-grandfather's dead. Why aren't you dead? You're throwing away tradition.
That
What?
makes sense to you.
None of it does in the city. That's why I'm not like an elf.
I am so confused by her right now.
If you say so.
Like,
Well, you're
can I
here.
speak to her about anything else? And tell me about your
You
friends.
apparently have a lot of friends. Tell me about your network.
It's not mine, right? I mean, it is, but it's also everyone. Everyone who wants to shove it to nobles who hide behind gold and silk. And hats. I guess.
What does your group do?
Are you just about pranks and revenge, or is there more to it?
Well, it's a weave, right? I grease a ballroom, so a wyvern chasing Git has to hunt Sprained. Strangely, handmaids leave his vault open. His heirlooms belong to someone else. Maybe clean streets in Kirkwall, so someone gets something else. Pish, pish, pish. A lot of people eventually get help or a laugh. Or maybe someone dead, if they deserve it.
Good to know. Yeah.
Glad I met you before someone decided what I deserved.
You're no hateful ass so far. I'd just get you with a pie or something.
Oh, it sounds like fun.
Assassin's a bard's job, innit? No fun, that lot. They might plonk a noble, right? But only to raise another. Plus, I'm shite at singing.
Well,
Is Red Jenny real? Or was she always just you and your friends?
Dunno.
Don't you care?
Not if it works. I mean, Red is scary because blood. And Jenny is... Look, nobody fears the bunch of people who do random stuff. And besides, it's easy. Nobles want a bogeyman because they need to believe normal people can't get at them. Numbers, right? It don't have to be so complicated.
you share the blame too?
Doesn't this
Yeah.
mean people think you're guilty of more than you actually do?
Suppose. Does it matter?
Shouldn't it?
Important people kill over imagined insults. I've made more than enough real ones, so no. I don't suppose it does.
Okay.
Where are the people you promised?
If I knew, there wouldn't be much use. That's sort of the point. Look, unless your baddies are rocks or trees, they have people they use. Cooks, squires, wipers. Yeah, I know.
Wipers.
Right?
Oh,
The little
Christ.
wipers
Really?
deserve it, right in the... Well, anyway. The little people will be there when you need them. In a million little ways.
Sounds very vague. They even know what you do?
Seems like there's no way the people who contribute could even know what they're helping with.
Don't need to. Maybe some ask for a target, a note like. But maybe they plant something just to help mess with things. I did something and something happened. That's a wish for some people. Probably not heralds. Anyway, sometimes I don't even do anything and people think I did, because something happened anyway. That's good too. Free payday. And free blame right. But whatever.
As long as it works, yeah.
You can play along if it works for you.
You have a choice.
She's slightly
Play or
improves.
Inquisition.
Well.
We'll talk another time.
Right.
It's all good, isn't it?
Anything else we can get from her, or is that
You're
it?
here.
No, nothing yet. Okay.
I'll be back if I need you.
Go on.
She is a crazy sort, so her codex got updated, I think. Here we go. Addendum, Denerim. Sera's claim to have lived in Denerim cannot be verified, but seems likely. The alienage there was neither stable nor secure. Many residents of the city fled the region following the Blight. Given her nature, Vario would have seemed rife with targets. Denerim has more than its share of suspect nobility, but most were rallied against a common enemy thanks to the efforts of the hero for Elden. Forced them all, like shits and double shits. I don't think they were forced to. They could have allied with Tern Logan. It would have been a shitty idea, but it was there, right? You know? She got to say, it was a possibility. Where did this chest come from? Was this always here? I do not remember that chest being there. I mean, it's got a pretty shitty dagger in it, but still. So do we get that armor for Cassandra? No? Am I going crazy? We did get armor, didn't we? Is it a schematic? Oh, it is. Right, so all Asian army warrior armor, that is the one which we can make for potentially for Cassandra. If it's any good, I don't know if it is or not. We'll check in with we'll check in downstairs for lack of a better term after we've done talking to Vivienne, who I believe is in. Oh, we need to go and see Alexius as well, don't we? He's in the prison. So much stuff to do. Jesus. Vivienne, hello.
If Fiona and her malcontents
Greatly disapproves. What the shit?
Abominations.
You've only just joined, and you're already greatly disapproving of me.
Some of the rank and file need to be trained.
You have gotten massively cold all of a sudden. You were very friendly last time I saw you. We can control the mages, yeah. Oh, keep them hidden. No, we can control the mages.
We can handle the mages. There's no need for Templars.
Have any of these men faced an abomination before, my dear? Have you?
Yes,
The
I have
veil
actually.
is broken, and the raw power of the Fade rushes out like floodwaters through a shattered levee. In ordinary places where the veil is weak,
You look different
magic
without your
is
helmet
much
on as well,
more
by the way.
likely to attract demons. And if demons can walk our world with no blood magic to summon them, how safe do you think our allies are? There has never been a greater threat to mages than the breach. Until it is closed, no one is safe.
You don't trust mages.
You have a low opinion of your fellow mages?
It's not so much an opinion as grasping the obvious. Magic is dangerous, just as fire is dangerous.
Ah,
Anyone who forgets
there's that
this
quote from her
truth
codex.
gets burned.
Savinta doesn't think so,
I don't
yeah.
think the mages of the Emporium would agree with you.
Drunkards rarely agree that they ought to stop drinking. I wouldn't use them as role models.
Fair point.
Do you know how young mages are found? A little girl has a nightmare, and in her sleep, she burns her house down. A teenage boy has a fit, and lightning rips his mother to pieces.
Jesus
Imagine
Christ.
your own childhood and what would have happened if the darkest corner of your heart had a will of its own. People don't learn the fear of magic at Chantry services, my dear. They learn it from us. Tell me something. As you will no doubt have a hand in shaping it, what future do you see for mages?
See, I understand the need to contain mages, but I think the circles need to be better maintained and not so strict. I believe that we should look at maybe not necessarily having them all in circles, but certain ones, if you get me, you know. It seems a big statement to make, this. Nah, you know what? Mages should be free.
Mages should be
Should
treated
greatly
like anybody
surprise.
else.
And yet, however much we may wish it, we are not like everyone else.
I don't think me and Vivienne are going to
Anyone
get
can
along.
see that a chevalier is armed and dangerous, and they can see when his blade is about to strike. But can you spot a mage coming? And if he arrives at your stoop, can he leave his magic at the door? It's something to consider, my dear.
Well, I'm glad that you
I
now
met
probably
an
hate
elven
me.
mage earlier. Solus, I believe he was called. I admit I was surprised. I didn't expect to find mages among the Inquisition.
Well, we have two,
Tell
you know.
me, why were you at the Divine Conclave?
I could say again, mages should be free, and she probably hate me even more. This chaos harms everyone, yeah.
The war benefits no
Oh, she
one.
greatly approves, that's good.
It must end, and order must be restored.
If only the rebels saw things so clearly. Justinia's death has shattered the balance of power in Thedas. If it is not restored quickly, countless lives will be lost. Mages, Templars, innocent people of all kinds now look to the Inquisition to decide their fate.
I'll do all I can.
I'll try not to let them down.
Failure is a luxury we cannot afford, my dear. For almost 1,000 years, the world believed it was in the hands of the Maker. And now many believe you are the agent of his will. Whatever the truth is, that belief gives you power.
I'll use it to change things,
If that's
yeah.
true, then I'll put it to good use.
I suppose we'll see.
Why does she disapprove
I've
of
stolen
that?
enough of
Christ
your time, my
almighty.
dear. Don't let me keep you.
I'm trying to be good here, Vivienne.
Can I assist you?
Right, what else can we speak to her about? Any chance we might... No, I'm not romancing you, Vivienne.
Possibly oppose freedom for your own people.
You live in the world, Inquisitor. You have eyes and ears. The obvious cannot have completely escaped you. The world is not made up of mages and Templars or circles and chantries. There is no us and no them. There are only people. People who must share a world which is not portioned equally among all. My own people want a larger share of the world, uncaring that they have already been granted great power.
Should be made fair, yeah.
It doesn't matter that the world isn't fair. We should make it fair.
Fair to whom? The wolves
Everybody.
howl and claw at the fences that hold them back. Take pity and you let them loose among the lambs. And what do the sheep do? Panic. And the scent of their fear drives the wolves to attack.
So teach them not to fear, yeah.
It'll take time, but people can learn not to fear magic.
One cannot unlearn a primal fear. Like fire or heights, it is not about prejudice. It is about survival. I care for the witch hunts that will come. I care for the angry mobs who string up mages on gibbets for the vultures. I care that my stupid brethren will kill and be killed by frightened people defending their families from monsters. I will stand in opposition to that, whatever you may do.
Fair enough.
What is it?
How about the circle?
I
Yeah.
wanted to ask you about the Circle of Magi.
Of course. What do you wish to know?
If the Circle disbanded, how can you still belong to it?
The circle is an idea, my dear. And an idea cannot be dissolved. Many of the first enchanters voted for rebellion, caring little that anything short of a unanimous decision would pit mage against mage. Rather than dissolving it, Grand Enchanter Fiona's vote split the circle in two. The rebels follow her, the loyalists follow me.
Christ. No wonder she got so annoyed about me allying with the mages then.
If you lead all the loyalists, why are you only First Enchanter and not Grand Enchanter?
Grand Enchanters are elected, and since there are no First Enchanters besides myself, no vote can be held. I could name myself Grand Enchanter, but the title holds no meaning now. When the circles are restored, that will change.
When, you say.
What was it like to live in a circle?
My dear, your question
Oh,
is
the Anna's ready to report in. Good stuff.
with mages. I cannot tell you. Every circle was different. Their Templars were different, their politics unique. And every person within each tower had an experience of circle life unique to themselves. Some people suffered and some were content. Some were cruel, some compassionate, and some indifferent. The same is true of people everywhere, in all circumstances, whether they are mages or not.
That's fair. But if a circle is going to be an establishment, then they all need to be similar to each other. You know? It's like they all need to try and work towards the same goal. I mean, I guess it's something to strive towards, you know?
So tell me about your personal experience with the circle.
I enjoyed life in the Montsimard Circle, my dear. It was an edifice devoted to knowledge and refinement. And mages need the company of other mages. No one else can truly understand the challenges we face, nor see the world as we do.
You must have been under constant supervision, being forced by Templars to live in the tower. Was that hard to endure?
My dear, I have a suite in the palace and a wing at my dear Duke Bastien's estate. I've never been forced to live anywhere. Most circles allowed mages to live away from the tower, either on their own or in service to the nobility. All that was required was permission from the First Enchanter. Some circles were harsher in their restrictions. Kirkwall was the worst, but it was the exception. Most were
Yes,
quite
Kirkwall was
permissive,
pretty fucked.
perhaps too permissive in retrospect.
How did we come to this state with the circles in revolt?
A failure of perspective that infected circle leadership. Mages lived solely in a world of Templars and mages. They could not even imagine what was beyond the tower walls. Kirkwall gave the world a reason to remember its fear of magic. A mage killed hundreds with a snap of their fingers. Across Thedas, a new tangible fear of magic grew. Commoners and nobles alike called out to the Chantry for protection. But the malcontents in the towers thought nothing of this. They cared only for themselves and for their anger at the new Templar restrictions. When a mage attempted to assassinate Divine Justinia, again, the mages protested the investigation. The leadership chose to vote on independence based on the intolerable conditions imposed by the Templars, sparing no thought to the fact that magic was more feared in the aftermath of these attacks than it had been since Tevinter's day. So long as they had their freedom, They could care little for riots, angry mobs, or about pitting mages against each other.
I can see the logic, but, you
Are you
know.
familiar with Grand Enchanter Fiona?
We've met. Before her horrendously ill-timed and selfish vote for independence, I thought her adequate at her job. In her dotage, she could not handle looking after the well-being of so many people. We would have done better to replace her years ago, to let her spend time gardening.
Charming.
Did they have cause to rebel?
In the aftermath of their terrorist attacks? Was that really the most opportune time to break away? By all means, protest
No.
abuses by the Templars. Just don't do it in a way that says mages support wholesale murder. By voting
That's
when
not
they did,
really what they
my
did,
colleagues
but
all but
okay.
declared war upon the ordinary people of Thedas.
That's not really what
War in
happened.
which we are outnumbered 100 to 1.
I thought the fighting was only between mages and Templars. Why are mages fighting mages?
The vote for independence was carried by only a small margin, but Fiona chose to let the motion stand. Those who opposed a rash declaration of war against the entire free world had little choice. By breaking from the Chantry when they did, the rebels declared themselves in support of mass murder.
But
Anyone who did
no,
not
they
wish to
didn't.
support terrorism and the slaughter of innocents was
They,
forced to
that's
take
not
arms
what they
against the
did.
rebels.
They, fucking hell. The only reason the Kirkwall thing happened was because of the mismanagement of a circle. And also, yes, by a mage who had gone off the rails, but that's not all of them do that,
Yes,
you
my
know?
dear.
Right, tell me about, yes, ask anything more about the
to ask you
circle, or
Of
are we
course.
done?
What
About
do
the
you wish to
Templars,
know?
yeah.
You must have an opinion of the Templars after living so long in the Circle.
Having opinions about Templars, my dear, is exactly like having opinions about mages or Navarans or men. I have known some who were impossible to endure and some who were utterly charming. I have suffered insults at the hands of those in the armor, but no more than I endured from nobles or tradesmen in Val Royal. Personally,
Was
I
that
have found the
was that a
Templars
deliberately insulting
useful,
accent?
skilled at keeping
Oh.
more unpleasant elements at bay.
Fair enough. So if you are willing to say that a Templar, right, if you see a bad Templar and you're like, well, yeah, they do some bad stuff, but you know, there's other people who do that as well, so we can't judge them like that. Why can't you do the same with mages?
Can I assist you?
Come on, tell me about yourself. Yeah, I'm
To know
curious.
more about you, Madame Vivienne.
Apologies for the long episode, but I
Sweet
do
of
want to
you,
get
my
this whole
dear.
conversation out of the way.
But I'm sure there's nothing I can say that you don't already know.
Okay,
What is it?
that was very brief.
I'd like to know
Nothing.
more
No, she refuses
Can
to
I
speak
assist
to me about herself. Okay, I want to help the circle,
Is
yeah.
there anything I can do to help your efforts at restoring the Circle?
After the circles fell, their libraries were plundered by scavengers. 1,000 years of recorded knowledge in the hands of bandits. It makes me sick to think of it. I've received news that some tomes have been located, if you are interested in righting this wrong.
Yeah, I'll find them, sure.
I'll look into it for you.
If you can take care of this matter, the circle would be in your debt.
Find a circle tome in the hinterlands, find a circle tome in the western approach, find a circle tome in the exalted plains. So there's 3 of them. I don't know where the western approach is. There's one in the hinterlands. And the exalted plains. I don't know where the western approach to the exalted plains are. I can see the hinterlands are there, but... okay, so on that note, guys, I think we'll end this episode here. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. If you haven't, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll catch you in the next episode of Dragon Age Inquisition. Thanks again, guys. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.